choosing a word for the year is a habit I've had. I believe this is my 10th year doing it, and it's been very meaningful to me. And I want to encourage you to do it. And I've talked about it in different settings. I want to spend a little bit more time sharing some principles around it and sharing some ideas and principles from this great book, One Word That Will Change Your Life, co-written. The co-authors are John Gordon, Dan Britton, and Jimmy Page. And it's a great book. I encourage you to get it, by the way. I'm going to share some principles from it because I want you to be purposeful as you're going about choosing your word, because it's had, as I've done this over the years, it's had such an impact on my life. Some years more dramatic than others, but every year it's had an impact. So I want you to be intentional about doing it, and I want to share some ideas and principles around that. So I'm going to share my screen really quick so we can look at some thoughts together. So one word, as I've shared in the past, really helps create clarity and power and focus and really life change as you're doing this and choosing the word that will really make an impact in your world. And what's the significance of a word? And I love this thought from the book, is that when we have a sentence, we're focusing on our behavior. But when we choose a word, it focuses on our character. Because who we become really is more important than anything else. And for us to achieve the results we ultimately want, we have to become many times a different person. And we're required to change, we're required to grow, we're required to improve. And it's important that we help and we focus on that. And that's the significance of one word. It creates that clarity on an area that ties all areas of our life together. So what are some ideas that can help? And these are from the book. It's a 3-step process. First of all, we got to look up. First, we got to look in, then look up, and then look out. By looking in, we're preparing our heart. Looking up, we're discovering our word. And then looking out, we're living our word, because we got to put it into action. So as we look in, we're preparing our heart. And I think it helps to take time, to take maybe a quiet time to reflect on where we've been in the last year or two. And more importantly, where do we want to go as we reflect? What are some areas that we might want to improve? And here are 3 questions that might help as you're identifying during your reflection time. What do you need? What's in your way and what needs to go? And the word will help. And the word might jump out at you. Actually, it's going to grab you when you get the word, because there's a specific area that maybe you've been ignoring, and you know it, and it's time to address it. And this one word is going to help you address it. For me, the first word I ever chose when I started this was discipline, because there were areas of my life I wanted to create more discipline in my health, in my schedule, in my routine. And 9 years down the road, I have some of those. So look at areas that you want to add to your life, and there might be some things you need to let go of. And what do you need to do in order to do that? And what word will help you do that? And some additional questions that might help to prompt as you're reflecting, to look in and to look up to find out what the word should be, right? Is what kind of person do you want to be at the end of the year? Not where you are today, but again, who do you want to become? Because that word's going to help to pull you forward. Other things, what goals? And really, it's in all areas of your life: your faith, your spiritual life, your physical life, your mental, your family relationships, your business, your finances, all areas. What word is going to tie that all together? What energizes you, and what's going to help you pull you towards the person you want to become? And words I've used in the past, just to give you some ideas: discipline, intentional, extraordinary, pursue, believe. That was an instrumental word for me as I was making a transition into this aspect of the real estate business. Hope was in 2020, which was very meaningful considering the pandemic was happening throughout that year. That word was so perfect for what I was dealing with for that year, and all of us, many of us. So the words can be very meaningful. So it's important that you look in, prepare your heart, look up, discover your word, and then look out to live your word. And it's important that you put your word, you put sticky notes, whether it's on your computer, throughout your office, your home, so you remember your word and you keep it in front of you throughout the year. One of the saddest things is when I talk to people later on in the year that they forget what their word is. you go through a process to choose what it is, remember what it is, and do aspects and do reminders that will help keep it in front of you. So my word for this year of 2023, drum roll please, is maximize, because maximize means to get the most out of. And I want to get the most out of myself. I want to get the most out of my roles as a husband and as a father, as a leader in our community, as a leader in our church, as a leader in our real estate office. I want to get the most and be the best version of myself. And in addition to that, I want to help others get the most out of their life and what they want to create for themselves, their families, and their business. So what is your word? Please let me know. Either text me, email me, put a note below. I'd love to know what your word is for the year so we can help each other achieve what we want to achieve. Because when we're pursuing our goals, when we're living the life we're destined to be, we are truly living passionately.